Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of The Furniture with me, Daniel. It's Season 2, Episode 3, and today we had a big home doubleheader, firstly in the National League against high flyers Hartlepool, before playing top of the table Forest Green in the FA Cup first round. So very much an episode where we'll be focusing on action on the pitch, but just before that, let's go and take you through the few things that have happened since the last episode. Firstly, transfers. We've had 2 more come in. We're still well under our transfer and wage budget. We're keeping the club financially sound, but we have added 2 key players to the ranks on free transfers. Firstly, Johnny Byrne. He's a 3-star centre-half with 4.5-star potential at 24 years of age. He's a very decent centre-half. He's good in the air, he's fairly strong and he's good in the tackle. He's just solid all across the board and we couldn't ask for much more really. He's made a couple of appearances already, as you can see, and he's doing rather well so far. We've also got a new first choice keeper. When it came towards the end of October, we had to give up on getting Alex Bass. He still wasn't loan listed and had actually played a couple of games for Portsmouth. So this guy came up in one of our scout reports as a free agent. Jamie Jones, a name you might recognise. He's a fantastically experienced goalkeeper, released by Wigan in the summer. Didn't play last season, but before that I played 270 games, all in the Football League, and bar 2 seasons and about 50 of them, all in League 1 or above. So it was an absolute no-brainer to get him in here at our little National League side. He's only conceded 2 goals in 2 games and got a good rating, and go straight into our first team. It is a shame for Billy O'Brien, who's been a bit of a penalty-saving hero this season, as you'll find out in a minute. But you can't turn down someone with this level of quality and experience. Moving quickly on to the schedule. There have been plenty of games since you were last here, obviously. We left off with that 2-0 defeat at Dover, our first defeat of the season, and it was very quickly followed on TV by another one. 1-0 in one of the longest trips in English football, all the way up to Gateshead. However, after a quick team meeting, we got things back on the roll. We beat Maidenhead 4-1 away from home. Foy got a brace, with Walker and Scrimshaw also scoring. Scrimshaw was becoming a bit of a super sub at this point, and he's soon to get his chance in the first team. We then played at home to Boston and won 3-0. You can see Scrimshaw started this one and scored a penalty. Kennedy became the super sub this time off the bench, and Matt Foy scored to complete the treble for the front 3. We then played Macclesfield at home. Again, Scrimshaw started and scored, and Michael Kennedy again came off the bench and scored. Couldn't be much better really, and we're making a habit of stoppage time goals. We then had a ridiculous game away to Weston-super-Mare, who I didn't realise until this point had actually been promoted. If we go and have a look at them last season, they were in our league. We spoke about them a couple of times flying high. If we scroll down to the end of the season, you can see they actually beat Billericay 2-0 in the playoff final. The ones who were obviously the favourites to come up last year. So what a performance that was from them. And they gave us a bit of a run around as well. We got an early lead, but they managed to come back into the game. And in the end, we needed a late goal from Kennedy just to make us comfortable again. But Barley Mumba came to the party in that one, getting a brace to complement the goals by all of the front 3 too. We then scored 5 again in the next game, this time conceding 4 despite being 5-2 up at one stage. Kennedy and Scrimshaw both got the braces. Foy was demoted to the bench this time, and Ollie Inca, who's become a little bit of a star for us covering on the right wing, with a fantastic long range goal, which turned out to be crucial in us winning the game. We then went on another one of these little silly spells with back-to-back defeats, first at home to Halifax, 1-0 in a midweek. We let in the goal in the last minute, and then at home to Bromley, where we were absolutely outplayed, to be honest. They're probably the best side we've played this season in terms of performance. We weren't at our worst in that one, and they just wiped the floor with us. We then had an FA Cup game against East Thurrock away from home. A 2-0 win in that one. Ruari Keating got a rare chance. Playing lower league opposition, we rotated almost the whole side, and Keating and Foy both got on the score sheet as a result. There were some names you haven't seen much this season. John Paul Pittman, who we kept on this year just as a scout predominantly, as well as youngsters Ryan O'Sullivan and the likes of Keating, who we've already mentioned. We've then had back-to-back wins in the league again, firstly away to Harrogate. Barley Mumba with a hat-trick in that one. He wasn't supposed to get a hat-trick. Just before the penalty for the 3rd goal, I tried to change the taker to Scrimshaw, who's our regular penalty taker, but it didn't go through in time, and Mumba slotted it away despite having a penalty rating of, I think, 4. Let me go and check. Yes, it is 4, but he slotted it perfectly down the middle, and you wouldn't have told that he wasn't a penalty taker naturally. So he's very much the match winner in that one, and that's why I said at the start of the season I think he might be the difference between top half and playoffs. We then beat Stockport 4-1 in the last game. Even Amir Berkovic got on the score sheet in that one despite having a poor season. Payne, Byrne and Scrimshaw all on the score sheet as well. And Jamie Jones wasn't quite as successful at saving penalties as Billy O'Brien, but it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And although it was obviously nice to beat Stockport, it's great to see them back at this level. Obviously, for those of you following me in FM18, we played with Stockport in the Golden Generation, a one-year FM Touch series where we got them back to where they belong, and it looks like they've managed the same in-game, so hopefully they'll stay up this season, despite a relatively poor performance in that one. And now we're into November. We've got Forest Green in the FA Cup, which is a really bad draw. You either want a big League One club or a terrible club in the lower leagues. You don't want to be playing the side that's top of your own division. It's not going to get a huge gate receipt, which we could still do with financially. And it's also going to be quite a difficult one for us to win. But with that all out the way, let's get into the doubleheader. It's Hartlepool at home first in the league. A very even game. It's pretty much even Stevens again. 4th v 7th, only 4 points in it. The most important thing from that is that we're not going to get relegated. There's a huge gap there, nearly 20 points already. And we're probably not going to win the league either because Forest Green are running away with it. They sold 2 of their star players for a combined 600,000 despite coming down to the National League. And they've replaced them with a whole squad of people, which that's probably covered financially. We're not far off full strength today. Sokolik's been struggling a bit with injury, so Johnny Byrne's going to keep the place for him today. And Macau Kennedy's just back from injury, so he's not fit yet. And Edwards Johnny's also still injured. So Bobson Balling's back and he's covering on the right again. Ollie Inca had been doing it for a while with Balling out injured too. But we've now got a natural player back in that position. So the lineup for today in full is Jamie Jones, the new keeper. Hume and White are the fullbacks with Byrne and Williams in the middle. Balling and Berkovic are on the wings with Payne and Mumba in central midfield and Scrimshaw and Foy the duo up front, although Kennedy is going to be knocking at the door once he's fit again. Let's get into the game and see if we can get a result. We want to be pushing towards the top of the table and more importantly just cementing our place in the playoffs. It'd be a really good achievement this year, and with players like Foy and Hume on loan, it might well be our best chance to get back to the Football League, where we can then start to slow the pace of this down and really focus on what we want to achieve as a club. We'll tell them to pick up where they left off. We'll take a repeat of the 4-1 win at home to Stockport. And let's see if we can do the same against Hartlepool. Payne gets the ball forward to Berkovic. Berkovic over the top to Foy. Foy's in the left side of the box. Back to Scrimshaw. It deflects and sends Loach the wrong way. But he recovered with a fantastic save down to his right to keep the score at 0-0. White whips it in and Byrne flicks it on. We have changed the set piece routines a little bit this season. And they're really starting to work now. As Foy nearly heads it in. But it glances just wide of the far post. We've got the ball on the right with Bobson Balling. Balling's got the ball into the box towards Foy, but he's headed away. Mumba on the edge of the box finds Berkovic. His shot's tipped behind by Loach again. He has made a couple of brilliant saves in this one. It looks like a free kick's been given since, but Loach wasn't to know at the time. Payne's got the ball again on the left-hand side to Berkovic. Berkovic back out to Foy. Foy finds Payne on the left side of the box, cuts inside unopposed, and he's put it wide as well. We've wasted some really good chances early doors, and I feel like we might regret them, as Jones makes a fantastic save down to his left. Their first shot on target in the match, and Jones is equal to it. 20 minutes gone, it's a free kick, a corner for Hartlepool. It's headed away towards Noble. Bramall's got the ball on the right hand side back to Featherstone. Featherstone finds Noble on the edge, his shot goes over, it's high and wide and there's no trouble with that one. We've got a free kick just before halfway with Byrne. What's happened there? There was a striker 2 yards away and it's just been carried on. Surely that's an obstruction. Luckily Jones saves. I would have been furious if that had gone in. I apologise in advance if you can hear the rain thundering off the window. It's absolutely chaos outside there. But in this game there's no rain and we're making sure that we get a result out of this one. We've not been at our best, but to be honest, Hartlepool haven't threatened too much. They've had a lot of shots recently, but we're in now with Scrimshaw, finds Foy, simple as you like. The front two combine again, and the 3 strikers we've got of this club are absolutely brilliant. They're all young, 2 of them are on permanent signings, and we've got a lot of talent here. The only thing we've got to worry about is if a Football League team comes in for one of them in January, or someone like a Forest Green who have got a bit of money, because I don't know if we'll be able to resist financially, especially with 3 of them. You feel like we have to let one go if we get an offer. Scrimshaw, who's becoming a star this season, and as I say that, he's hit a ball about 50 yards too far and straight through to Loach. but he has been absolutely brilliant for us. We had him here expecting him to be a sub for most of the first season. He's overtaken Kennedy within a month, and he's pushing Foy as well. He might be the best striker at the club by the end of the season. Balling gets the ball forward, but his cross is blocked. Payne back out to Balling again, goes for the cross, and it thunders off the crossbar. It almost looked like a shot, it was that powerful, but the ball's cleared away, and it's still 1-0 on the stroke of half time. There is the whistle then. 1-0, it's been a fairly even game. Hartlepool have had slightly more efforts, but they've been going from outside the box more often, so I'm not too concerned about that. We'll warn them against complacency because we don't want to be giving the lead away, and we'll get into the second half and see if we can hold on to this scoreline. Hartlepool bringing it forward down the middle. They've given the ball away early to Berkowitz. Scrimshaw's running on towards the left back, but is headed away for a throw-in, and the highlight will end as the ball goes out of play. Here's a throw-in on the left for us, Hume into Berkowitz. Berkowitz has had a good game today. For some reason, we've really struggled. Both left wingers have had terrible average ratings all season. They're doing nothing different tactically to the right wing. It just doesn't seem to be working for some reason. Loach has got the ball forward for Hartlepool. Hume heads it down and it's as far as Berkowitz. Mumba gets the ball to Payne, but his cross is deflected and Noble will bring it away for them. We've got to be careful that we don't get hit on the counter-attack. Bramall's been causing us a few problems so far. I'm starting to lose my voice, so I apologise if you notice a certain tone change. Noble's got the ball again 30 yards out. Hopefully we won't disappear entirely. Magny gets the ball to Arthur. Payne on the edge of the box and is tipped behind brilliantly from Jones, who's starting to prove his worth for us already. It's an out-swinging corner from Bramall, headed away by Scrimshaw, volleyed in fact 40 yards up the pitch, and Foy will hold the ball up. Noble gets the ball to Payne and back to Noble again. The ball goes out to Magny on the right, but he's overhit it and it'll go out for a throw. The highlight ends and on the hour mark we've still got that 1-0 lead. We've got a throw on the left with Payne. I don't know why he's taking it. I had him set for long throws, but he's not taking them. And surely if he's not going to do a long throw, he shouldn't be taking them at all. Hume's got the ball out to Jones, who clears long. Featherstone finds Payne again. Payne to Arthur out on the right to Magny. They're starting to cause trouble for us down that right-hand side. And maybe we will kneel Kelly on just to get a bit more defensive there. Scrimshaw wins the flick on from the clearance, but Foy couldn't get to the end of it. And now Hartlepool will bring it away again with Loach. We've really got to be careful on the counter here. Williams, the man mounting, heads away, and Hume will get it at a second time of asking. But Scrimshaw in behind one-on-one. He's into the box. He's just gone a little bit wide. And in the end, the Hartlepool defender can get back and slide in to intercept the shot. It's an out-swinging corner from White on the right-hand side. Mumba knocks the rebound down, but is cleared. Jack Payne gets rid of the ball. A quarter of the game to go, and we will think about subs in a minute. We're past the 70-minute mark. We will make our changes after this highlight. Long ball over the top from the centre half, but it's back to Loach, the goalkeeper. Loach clears it long downfield for Hartlepool, but Byrne, the mountain, heads away. It's nice having two-man mountains at the back. Byrne wins the header again that time for Payne. Payne gets the ball up to Foy, who's dropped deep to get the ball. One of his personal traits that we're actually trying to get rid of, so he can be more effective as an advance forward. Ball in on the right into Scrimshaw, but he's lost out in the air. And Mumba again now finds Foy on the edge. Foy with the shot, but it's straight at Loach. And it remains 1-0, and we will make our changes now. We've got a week until the next game, so we're not too worried about fitness. We're going to take Mumba off because he's not had the best game. Brad Walker will come on for him, a natural box-to-box player. Scrimshaw's looking a bit tired and we want to keep the fitness and legs up front, so we'll switch Foy back to the pressing forward and bring Kennedy on for another 15 minutes. He continues his comeback after 10 minutes in the last game. Hume's the other one who's tired, but I don't want to make the sub just yet, so we'll leave it at 2 and make another one later if we have to. We like to get O'Sullivan games where possible, a youngster with high potential, and we really want to develop players at this club. It's a trait I want to get into, bringing in young players for free or cheap deals and then pushing them on later down the line as we start to make money out of them. 5 minutes to go and we are going to make another change now. Pretty much anyone could be a candidate to come off here. We're just going to see who's the hardest worker out of O'Sullivan and Kelly. It is Kelly actually, so we're going to bring him on for Berkowitz. Payne gets the ball into Kelly. Back to Payne again on that left-hand side. Kennedy goes back to Payne. Can we finally get the ball into the box and kill this game off? Deflects to Bobson Balling and he puts it into the side netting. We worked an opportunity. It was a little bit lucky, the deflection. But we're still 1-0 up and going into stoppage time. We're going to change things the way we normally do. In transition, we want to slow the ball down when the keeper's got it. In possession, we want to time waste. We want to be more disciplined and play for set pieces because that's the best way to waste time. As Scrimshaw's gone off now, we'll switch to whip crosses as well. Give Kennedy a bit more of a chance. And in a minute's time, we'll go to defensive as well. Just as we go into the 3 minutes of stoppage time, we've got a highlight, so we'll see how this goes first. Balling's got the ball on the right. I don't know why the fullback's still trying to overlap. Delivers to Kennedy at the back stick, is headed away. And Walker's headed straight at Loach, the keeper. Loach will bring it away, and if we don't concede here, we will definitely go defensive. Bramall's got the ball. Look how much time they've got up there. That's a concern for us on the edge. Richardson's got the ball on the right for them. Crosses to James. It's knocked down and Walker clears. Foy's got a 2-on-2 up there if he can find someone. Into Walker, and his ball through to Kennedy's not good enough. The ball's cleared and it's still 1-0. Byrne gets the ball to Kennedy on the left, back to Payne. Payne out to Hume on the left-hand side. Another delivery in towards Foy. Loses out in the air and Walker's got it. Out to Balling on the right-hand side. Foy can't get on the end of that one and Richardson heads away. We've got a throw in on the left and we are going to change to defensive. Payne will take it to Kelly. Kelly back to Payne again. We're definitely going to make sure we sort out him getting long throws in the next game. Walker's got the ball in the middle again. Walker's gone all the way back to Byrne. We don't mind that. Good time wasting. Good keeping of possession and game management. White with a ball in towards Kennedy, but Loach comes and claims. And with 30 seconds left, let's hope they can't create that one more chance. Long ball up, which Williams wins the header for. Hume gets the second ball and Kennedy will chase. Can he make it? He can't, but he forces Featherstone to give away the throw, and that is the perfect hard-working centre-forward play. Just 5 seconds to go as Payne takes his time, and as soon as he throws it in, it should be the whistle. It isn't, but as the ball's cleared, the whistle finally goes, and we nick a 1-0 win. I apologise for the fact that that wasn't the most entertaining to watch, but what a crucial result if we want to cement a top 7 place. We're going to tell them it was a good win, and we'll go back in a second to see what they've said about the game. Up to third with that one. Forest Green do drop points by the looks of things. A 3-3 draw at Sutton, who are right up there as well. So let's be honest, that's not a terrible result for them. But hopefully it'll dent their confidence slightly before the FA Cup game, where I also hope they'll make changes. Their promotion bid took a hit, but we don't mind because ours is very much sailing nicely. We'll be leaving the league action for now, and we'll be back in a second for that big FA Cup tie against Forest Green, the leaders of our league at the moment. We're back for the second of this double header, one of my favourite days of the year, the first round of the FA Cup. You can see in the early game there's been a bit of magic on TV. South Shields have managed to hold Stevenage away from home. A great result for the new boys in the Vanarama National League North. But we've got to do a job against the league leaders in our own division, Forest Green. You can see even though we're at home, we're not the favourites for the game. Both teams are in good form. They've got a few players out, but they look like ones that have been out for a while already, and it hasn't affected them thus far. I'm just looking at the highlights down there from the games already played. Chippenham got a replay against Shrewsbury as well. There's some cracking ties down there. But let's get into our game. A few changes for this one. Not really enforced, just changing things up a bit. Edwards-John still isn't quite fit to come back on the right. We're giving O'Brien the game he deserves in goal because he's been great for us this season. And Sokolik's fit to come back in at centre-half. All that means we've got O'Brien in goal, Hume and White are the fullbacks with Sokolik and Williams in the middle, Berkowitz and Ball in the wingers and Mumba and Payne in central midfield. Foy and Kennedy, the original deadly duo, have been reunited up front for the first time in a couple of months, and hopefully they'll do the business for us today. 7 subs in the FA Cup, so we've managed to provide a bit more depth on the bench, and hopefully we can get a result. It's a 4-2-3-1 for Forest Green. Hopefully it won't cause us too many problems. We'll tell the boys to do it for the fans, which has got a couple of them confident. But you never know how the FA Cup's going to go until you get on the pitch. A bit of magic would be lovely. Kennedy wins it straight back from the kick-off for Foy. Foy's got the ball. Kennedy's in the middle if he wants to find him. But the cross is blocked and it's out for a corner. We've again meddled a little bit with our routines for set pieces. We're going to do the long throws and we're aiming for the back post here because we've got Reece Williams up attacking them. Mumba has the shot which forces a great save from the keeper down to his right. And I thought that was going to be a great start, but it wasn't to be. 2 minutes gone and we've had the first good chance of the game. 5 on the clock and we've got another corner with White. Into Mumba, off the line, and Williams' rebound deflects off his own man. What a fantastic start this is, and the corners are causing absolute chaos. We've got another one with White on the right here. Williams is up in the air, loses out this time. Berkowitz on the edge on the left, he's given the ball away. I think he thought Williams was making the run, but he's the winger, he should be taking him on himself. Emmanuel Thomas to Brown, and you can already see for conference players, the fact, or National League as it is, I always say it wrong, the fact they've got Emmanuel Thomas in there is a start. Foy's had the ball knocked away. Mumba goes long this time, but it's headed away. Mumba loses out the second time, and now Forest Green are coming through the middle. Lang with a shot from 35 yards. Very ambitious, and skimmed the top of the bar on its way over. The keeper had it covered, and it's 0-0. We've got a warning to close Lang down, so we'll do just that. With 15 minutes on the clock, it's Sokolik winning the header at the back. Kennedy's bringing the ball forward unopposed. Up to the edge of the box. Goes for the shot. Just deflects wide, but he got a lot of whip on that. and it's out for a goal kick. We're carrying on straight away. There's been a lot of highlights in this one already. Payne's brought the ball down lovely in midfield to Kennedy. Finds Berkovitz on the overlap, but again he's not got there first. Ball-in should recover that, but he hasn't. And the long ball over from Forest Green could cause us trouble now. Williams with a big hoof clearance, but it's coming straight back at us. Thomas on the right-hand side inside to Agyapong. Agyapong's bringing it through us unopposed. There's no challenge at all, and he has the shot in the end, but it's straight at O'Brien. 15 minutes gone, and there's no let up. It's still with Forest Green on the counter-attack. Lang's bringing the ball forward over halfway into Diamond. O'Brien makes a good save, and it's behind for a corner. Forest Green to whip it in from the right with Shepherd. Liam Shepherd's another good fullback at this level. Emmanuel Thomas back out to him on the right hand side and Hume heads away. Foy will bring it down and hoof it clear, and now Forest Green can bring it forward again. Thomas to Lang, and Lang on the edge of the box again with time. We haven't closed him down as well as we should be, but fortunately he's put it wide for a goal kick. Finally a little breather as we've got all the way to the half-hour mark. Hume with a clearance to Berkovitz on the left. Takes on his man for once. Will he actually beat him and keep possession? Good ball inside to Mumba, who's got balling out on the right. He's going to beat his man into Foy. Foy shoots and Montgomery makes a good save. Just with his left arm tips it behind for a corner, and now we're hoping to cause some more trouble from the set pieces. White into Williams, who loses out again. They must have their biggest man marking him, or at least their best jumper. Hume's got the ball up towards Kennedy, but he's lost out. Williams again looking at the edge of the box, switches to Ballin. Ballin's got an overlap if he can find them. It goes back to Sokolik. He does find the overlap from White. White's crossed the flex and it's straight through to Montgomery. Shepherd with a free kick on the right for Forest Green. Agyapong loses out in the air, but we don't get it clear either. Mumba wins it back in the end and goes long, but only as far as Lang. McGinley into Emmanuel Thomas on the edge of the box. Still danger here for us from Forest Green's attack. Brown finds Shepherd on the edge who shoots, but it's wild and it's a long way over, and we'll comfortably deal with those. Throwing on the right. Payne's got a chance to get a long one in. What a throw that is. Kennedy's lost out in the air, but it's back to Payne again. Deflects in. It's offside. It's been given against Foy. I'm sure that cross went backwards. I'm going to have to go and have another look at that in a second. I'm almost certain that cross went backwards. Hang on a minute. Payne's throwing came in. We know that went back out again. Kennedy lost out in the air and Payne's got it in. That's gone backwards. How is that offside? The throwing's gone backwards. I don't know why they've given that. But it's still 0-0 and it looks like a refereeing decision's going to cost us. Brown's got the ball to Emmanuel Thomas in the middle for Forest Green. Brown switches the ball out to Diamond. Diamond on the left into Agyapong. His header goes just over. And at half-time it is going to be 0-0. Despite the fact we've scored a perfectly legitimate goal in that half. A good game with plenty of chances. Two teams trying to attack each other. And we're just going to keep the same message going to do it for the fans. It's not been a bad performance. We've just lacked that little bit of cutting edge. Sokolik to Mumba from the kick-off out to Ballin. Ballin finds Foy on the right and he's returned it to him. Ballin again inside to Foy. Mumba tries to get on the end of it but it's cleared long and Sokolik gets the ball comfortably. The highlight ends and it's 0-0. Payne with a long throw from the right again. Sokolik's up. Back to Payne again. Payne delivers but it's blocked to Mumba. This one deflects in and nothing's given this time. It must have been off the Forest Green player. Mumba with a fantastic effort from the edge again and he is starting to become a key man from midfield. He's a very young player but he's absolutely excellent and he clearly shines and stands out against our players. Kennedy into Foy scores. He's given offside again and I'm pretty sure that wasn't either. Oh, I'm getting a bit annoyed now. I'm going to go back and look at that one as well because I'm almost certain Kennedy was off from the original throw, but that doesn't matter. You can be offside from a throw-in. I'm so sure that wasn't offside. We're just waiting for that message to go so we can have a look again. That was just after it was given. Let's have a look. Payne throws the ball in. He gets it towards Kennedy. Kennedy flicks. Okay, Foy. No, Foy wasn't off. The other two were. Foy wasn't offside, and we've had 2 goals wrongly chalked off. Mumba crosses to Williams, another brilliant save. Sokolik loses out on the rebound and it's cleared. It should be 3, but the assistant officials clearly don't want us to win this game. They've obviously got a bit of an affiliation with Forest Green. The long ball over the top towards Hume who heads away. Williams flicks it on for Payne. Payne gets the ball back to Hume. Hume with a long ball over the top for Kennedy. Kennedy's in behind again. We're going to have to think about taking him off soon. Mumba shoots. What a world-class goal from Mumba. The counter-attack was sublime. Kennedy's one of his last contributions to the game is brilliant. And Barley Mumba is standing up in the big game and saying, I should be playing for Sunderland. What am I doing here? And I have no doubts that he's right about that. He's definitely a League One player, but the longer he's here, the happier I am. Long ball over the top, cleared by Sokolik, but only straight to Diamond. And man, they've gone on loan from Sunderland themselves. Probably quite familiar with them, but goes back to James. His shot straight at O'Brien. And we are going to make some changes now with just a quarter of the game to go. Kennedy's making his first start in a long time, so we'll swap him with Foy. And we'll bring on Scrimshaw for Kennedy. A bit of extra height up there, a sort of target man who can hold the ball up. Berkowitz is on a booking, so we're not taking any risks. Sam Kelly comes on left midfield. We'll leave the other sub just for now, and if we need to make one with 10 minutes to go, we can. The long throws cause chaos. The set pieces to the back post have worked. And Reece Williams, while not winning the headers, is causing a lot of trouble up there. Emmanuel Thomas goes for a speculative effort, and it's behind for a goal kick. The pass across goal's poor and Kelly clears. Scrimshaw's in behind. He's got Foy making a run across him. Goes himself and wastes it just over the bar. But what a counter-attack that was. We're going to look at bringing Payne off in a minute, but I don't want to do it too early. He's absolutely knackered, the lad, but he's playing so well, and we don't want to lose those throw-ins. Another shot straight at O'Brien, who's had a comfortable game so far. Hume's the only one who's had a poor game, but I don't want to trust O'Sullivan at this stage. Kelly's got the ball 25 yards out to Williams. Williams, the centre-half, with a good effort, which is saved, and Foy on the rebound doesn't quite make it first, and he's challenged behind for a corner kick. It's going to be delivered in by White, the fullback, over the top to Williams, who wins this one into balling, hits the bar, drops back down for Williams and he scores. And these set-piece routines are absolutely perfect. It's 3-0 and no one is stopping us now. Let's make that final sub and we will give O'Sullivan the youngster a game. Hume can have a rest and with 10 minutes to go we'll just see it out comfortably. We're going to pause it again very quickly, just to change things in the team instructions. We're going to slow the game down a bit now. I know it's not the best thing to see, but we really need to save players' fitness with games coming thick and fast 2 times a week. This is about the only week we're getting a week's break, and we want to make sure the players can work in training for this one, especially on these new set-piece routines. Throwing on the right for Forest Green with Shepherd. Inside to James. The money from this cup tie is going to be so important for us, and I really hope we can get a big one in the second round, or a very easy one and a big one in the third round. But for us, it's all about getting through, another bit of prize money, and hopefully a big TV game to come. O'Brien just missed out on that one, but it hit the bar and went over, and going into stoppage time, we've still got our 3-0 lead intact. A corner with the last minute of stoppage time from White. The time should already be up, but it's cleared. Mumba, who's been by far the best player on the pitch, to Williams. Williams has been chaos causing from set pieces, and he's not far behind Mumba now as a result. But we won the game 3-0, and I tell you what, if Forest Green play like that in the league, we've got a chance. But unfortunately, they've been far better than that most weeks. We're happy with the result and we're delighted with the way they've played. What a performance it was against a really good side, and we're through to the second round of the FA Cup. Let's see what they've said about the game. Quality of possession, we used it well. We created set pieces and it worked. It looks like Mumba's got a knock. Just 1 week, so he's only going to miss the one game. We'll go and praise him in a second for his performance in this one. But another 18,000, and that's going to help out the bank balance significantly. I'm not going to show you the draw for the second round in this one. We're going to come back in the next episode for the second round of the FA Cup, as well as a league game either side of it, which by the looks of things could be Forest Green on the Tuesday night just before or after. So what a double header that will be. I hope you'll join me again for that one. But that is all from this episode. If you did enjoy it, please put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of those performances, as well as giving me your feedback on our 2 new signings. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager content from this story part of the furniture, as well as our other FM19 series, The Head Coach, where we started Season 2 yesterday. Go back and check that one out. But a massive thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you next time.